30 minutes of it, and that's about it. I said, I think this shit gonna be kind of fire. I ain't gonna hold you. I say it just starts off really slow though. Like, I mean, you trying to like I just don't know. It just moves so slow in the beginning. I say, but like it's interesting, but it's slow at the same time. If that makes any sense, it's kind of like good dialogue. It's like 'cause some people need action and shit like that, but some people just can't stand just dialogue. Even though dialogue would be good as fuck. I say, well, some of my favorite movies of all time is literally just people talking in a single room, which is wild, but nonetheless,
Except which is wild.
it is wild because it's literally just motherfuckers just talking to each other.
No wrong with that, yo. Means they are talking good, nigga.
Well, yeah. I mean, have y'all ever seen The Man from Earth?
No.
No, I'm pretty sure you haven't. It's not that good of. It's not that like high of a movie or whatever. But it's literally
You said it's not that good of a movie.
well, it's not that good of a movie to most people, I would say, because like to people like me, I'd fucks with it because it's literally the concept of a guy who is saying that he's been alive for millions of years. Literally, that's the concept. He's been alive for millions of years, and he's basically trying to prove, or well, people are trying to disprove him, but he just keeps coming with like facts and shit of what happened throughout history and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I say the shit is pretty fucking fire. I ain't gonna hold you. I say I've watched it, I think, about 8 times now. There's other movies that I think are fire as fuck, like Batman with I forgot which one it is. The Dark Knight with Heath Ledger. I haven't even watched that 8 times, and I think that's like the greatest Batman film of ever created.
It's up there. Actually, no. The Christian Bale Batmans are the best Batmans.
Yes,
that I've seen.
That's how I feel. That's legitimately how I feel. Hey yo, what's good, bro? What's up? NCC 360. How you doing? It's good to see ya. Got a call-in number? Actually, we're not doing a call-in number, but I do have a link for people to join into the conversation. So today, what we are talking about is racism. Yeah, it's kind of wild, right? You didn't expect that at all, now did you? So basically, the aspect of it is anybody that wants to join the conversation is literally only one person at a time. We're not going to have you add your camera. Say it's just going to be pure audio. But we're talking about racism, and we're talking about if you wanting your race to continuously only date your own kind, is that racist? Now, Ree, how do you actually? I asked Suave first. Suave, how do you feel about that? If he's here. Oh, it came immediately. Okay,
yeah, the person.
Vaughn. So Vaughn, how do you feel about that?
So just about talking about dating, only wanting to date your own people, right?
Yes.
I feel like if it's a pure place of I only want to date my own people, that's totally different compared to like you should only date your own people. When you get to a you should only date your own people thing, then it gets a little bit into the racist aspect of it. Yes, but as far as just I think people should date their own people and shit like that. I don't have a problem with that concept per se. It's more so just when it gets to the you have to date your own people thing. That's where I get a little, you know what I mean?
Yes, I completely agree with that. I say for people to say that you have to date your own, I think that's when it gets to the racist aspect of things. I said, get out of my room. What are you doing in here? Get out. Jesus Christ, I'm trying to do a show here, people. Noah, how do you feel about that? I would say everybody say hi to Noah. Say he just joined in here. Noah, how do you feel about that?
Long time no see, huh?
I know, right? I would say, hold on, let me just close my door real quick, and I'll be right back, my boy. But go ahead, answer that question.
It's been a long time, I know. Like, man, it's like almost a year. I'm the one who helped made this server. So I joined late. Like, there's a big Twitch lag, and I don't even know what the question is.
Oh, okay. So pretty much the question was, if is it racist to think that your race should only specifically date your race because literally only because of race?
Okay. Oh, I think there's a fine line. I similar to what Carefree said. Which I'm kind of in line with, which is there's a difference between preference and being hardline about it. Like if it's just a preference, people have preferences about whatever.
Yeah.
Fine, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. But trying to impose your preferences on other people, that's when I would draw the line.
Mm. I kind of completely agree with that. Now, would you say if a white man was to say, "Oh, my white daughter cannot date this black man," is he racist?
I would say in that case, in that context, I would say I would lean like I like to give people the benefit of the doubt, but leaning in that situation, I would say yes, as he's imposing his will on his daughter.
Okay, okay. Now,
Like
would you
that
say
is
that
where the line is, like when he's like forcing another person to go by their preferences.
right? Okay. Now, do you think black people can be racist? It's just a simple question. I'm gonna ask Reed the same question.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say anyone can be racist
Thank
ever.
you. I I completely agree with that. I fucking completely agree with that. A lot of other people want to say that it's prejudice, more or less, but I think prejudice comes down when it's more than just the skin tone. When it's literally just the skin tone of something, then it has. How is it not racist if it literally has to do with just the skin tone?
Yeah, the reason why it's my perspective of anyone can be racist is because if it wasn't the skin tone,
Right.
it would be something else. Like if we were all like one race, there would be like, oh man, those blue-eyed people.
I completely agree with that. That's
Like
a good point.
it would come down to it basically if someone wants to make themselves or them and their friends or them and others feel more superior than others, then they will do whatever means that they can. And which means that these tools that makes one person feel better about themselves at the detriment of others can be used by anyone, in my view. Um, I will say full disclosure. I am white, so I know my view is limited and not as experienced, but that is my uh viewing from like a Nick Carraway perspective, like viewing from a window into the outside as best as I can. Like
Right.
I know I won't be able to be out there and experience it, but that's like the vibe that I'm getting. I am open for other points of view though.
Okay. How do you personally feel about it? About interracial dating?
Me? I don't care.
Oh, it doesn't bother you at all. Like it's
No,
not even on your radar. Like if they
I have
dated,
a girlfriend who's African American, yeah.
hey,
So I
okay. Well, there you go. Good shit. Now, Ree, how about you, nigga?
Okay. So here's the thing. So after like conversation that we've had and going back and forth, feeling that everybody can be racist, that is something I will agree on. Everybody can be racist. Acting on the act acting on the actualness of racism, I don't feel like black people can act on it because we don't hold power. But being racist, we could be a little racist. Everybody could be a little racist. It's just now, can you act upon the racism for me?
Mm,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying?
I
I
mean, that
give you
makes
like after having conversations and shit like that, and really sitting down and talking about it, the aspect of racism, yes, being able to let that power of racism being felt, no.
I actually do agree to an extent. I would say, like similar to economics, how there's microeconomics and there's macro. Like macro, the big picture, micro is like small. There can be cases micro, like really zoomed in, where no matter what race, gender, whatever, you can use some elements of power over someone else in the racist aspect and take that kind of action. But in a wider sense, yeah, I do agree. Like if you zoom back a lot and try to get a more wider view, yeah, being able to act on that kind of prejudice is far more difficult.
right. I completely agree. Now, I've had people say that just because I would say that it's not racist because of all the shit that's happened to black people from let's say from a white race, right? Now it's not racist because we don't hold any power. Yet the same viewpoint is exactly the same. I would say there was a one person that said, I personally asked them, so you can't you can't you can have sex with white women, but you can't marry, date, or breed with them. And his basic answer was yes.
Huh.
And
I would,
can you tell me that's not racist?
yeah, like I would say the same kind of argument of like trying to use like the many years justification is if you were to take away the race element, like do a completely different scenario. It's the same argument you get for why the circle of violence exists.
Mm-hmm.
They've done me wrong, so that gives me the right to do wrong myself.
And
Like
I
as
hate
that
that aspect
circle.
of things.
Yeah, and it
That's like,
had that. And one example of this, which was a famous case, and I would recommend anyone who wants to have. They even made a miniseries of the Hatfield and McCoys. It was a blood feud between two families, and again, it was a circle of them going, "You wronged me, so therefore I get to wrong you." And it went on for years and decades, and actually almost started a second civil war. It got close until they diffused it when the marshals had to come in. But like it shows an example where if you were to go to an example that doesn't involve race at all,
Mm-hmm.
that same justifications can be used to keep the circle of violence going. Like doing something wrong just because you were wrong doesn't make it right.
Completely agree with that. Completely
Kind
agree
of.
with that.
That is a more like I guess I can see some people saying that is a naive perspective, but like when I hear justifications like that, I just like in the back of my head, I'm thinking of like a circle of violence and how like arguments that are similar or like that rhyme, like they don't repeat, they rhyme. They're like very similar in nature,
Yes.
have that effect. I'm not sure what other people think here on that.
Hey, hey, Scotty, what's good, my boy? I say it's good to see you. I say good to see you. I say I haven't seen you in a long time.
If I can get my webcam working, this ancient piece of technology.
I say it's no worries. I was trying not to do webcams for the people that joined in just in case. You know, people try to get, wild or do some wild shit. Try
Oh
to get
yeah,
somebody
but
banned, things like that. Say, but
mm.
I have to agree with that. Now, just a simple question. I was talking about this the other day, and we were having a conversation on segregation. Do you think segregation is beneficial to minorities? Do you think it would be beneficial to minorities?
give me 1 second. I'm about to join on my computer and I'll answer the question. Okay.
All right, yeah, no worries. I say
Just
now let me ask Avery that in the meantime. Do you
Yeah.
think segregation would be beneficial to minorities, Ave?
Do I think segregation will be beneficial to minorities? No, just because I think we're in a different age. Like honestly, I don't think we need segregation to benefit. I just think everybody can do whatever the fuck they want to at this point.
Mhm.
Like it doesn't have to be. Why do we always have to involve the government with everything?
I
Why do
agree with
we
that.
always have to have the government be a part of everything we do? And it just gives them more power than that they actually need. So I think it's to who's his own. If you want to be segregated from everybody else, hey, be my guest. But to say that everybody needs to be segregated, I don't think that's the correct answer.
I would
I
never
compl-
say everybody needs to be segregated, but if we're talking from a strictly minority standpoint, that's where it gets a little finicky, right? Just because, and like, while I will say, an eye for an eye is never this great ass sentiment and shit like that, right? Just to refer to what he said earlier about, you know, just I was done wrong, so let me do someone else wrong.
Right.
In a basic sense, we generally don't do that and shit like that. And I'll be honest, I think it's kind of why we are in the situation that we're in where it's like we keep getting taken advantage of and we're being wrong to the level that we're still being wrong to and shit like that. But as far as like segregation for minorities, while I wouldn't say like in a strictly enforced, but I think like a level of segregation for minorities and shit like that, if you wanted to, almost kind of like how Indians have their own reservations and shit like that, right? Almost to that same level. I don't think that would hurt us. I think it would give us a chance to be able to build foundations for ourselves that we could control. Having foundations for ourselves that we can control would be a lot easier for us to not be in the same situations that we're in now. And it would kind of put us back in that aspect of like it would give us back that Black Wall Streetness and shit like that. Those black towns that were segregated and were doing it for themselves, that were destroyed, it will give us that back in that sense. And that's the only reason I say like not a forcedness of segregation, but I don't think it could hurt minorities.
So let me ask you a question. How does that help the government?
How do what help the government?
Why are we trying to help the government?
Just hear me out. Just good.
Okay, I want to state mine because I joined late on this. I kind of agree with both of you. I would say like having government intervention and like saying this needs to be segregated is the worst outcome you can have because governments change. You can have good people in one moment, bad people in another, especially with the way government goes. However, if a group of people themselves decide, let's do our own thing, I don't mind it. Like it's like having a gentleman's club, like in a bar. Like is it like it's like a safe space for gentlemen to meet up, have drinks, and it was founded because the group of people was like, "Hey, let's start a private club in a bar." I can see that being like as long as the group itself, the people came together and said, "Hey, let's make this our own thing." I'm all for that. Having the government step in and mandate wide sweeping policies on certain areas that have to be segregated and the government basically swings its thing around and forces it to happen causes a very bad negative, or it may start out good but then when other people get into power it can be abused, which is why I'm more in the decentralized, let the group of like people decide to create the community if they want.
So
Similar to because one part of the country is definitely different from another, you know. Like it's kind of a blend of both of your guys' philosophies in a way.
so when I was saying government, like the government always wants a piece of something. You know, nothing is ever done without the government consent. Obviously behind closed doors, but if you're talking about a whole community trying to get together of a certain race, I guarantee the government is gonna be like, all right, well, how do we profit from this? What benefits are we getting from this? Oh, we're not getting anything from it. Okay, we're gonna shut this shit down. It's just everything revolves around the government, unfortunately, because they are more powerful than a lot of people think they are. So that's why when I mention the government, it's not like you can't do anything. Well, there's a lot of things you can't do because the government is not okay with it. They will. We think I don't even want to get in there, but
Yeah,
you know, I was gonna go
you're
into a road and I
you're
didn't want to get into
yeah,
it.
that's fair. I do have a counterpoint, if you may.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is
Go ahead.
states' rights have actually grown a lot in strength because of like gambling laws. I believe in New Jersey was legalized, which led to weed being legalized in certain states. So I can see there being a discrepancy, like the federal government like has that perspective of like, well, we're not getting money from it. Is there anything we can do? Well, crap. That state's doing this, and we don't want to step in because it'll be a horrible PR nightmare. So I can see uh some kind of contention with like the split between federal and state, and even zooming in further from councils, like districts and what's the word, counties in certain areas. Um, having that split, I just think the government would have in more like unless it really grows into something massive. I think the government had the apathetic, whatever, we got more stuff to fry. Let's keep running the economy down, boys. Uh, like I think it'd have to be something like huge for it to even attract attention.
in my eyes. With
I
the
mean,
decentralized setup that I see, it would be hard to stop it once it gets going.
but
So,
yeah,
but
It,
yeah,
as big as the government, but as big as the not even the government. I'm sorry, I misspoke. But as big
yeah,
as the internet is these days and
Mhm.
social media, something like that could go catch viral. Look at TikTok. You can make one
mm,
post about something
yeah,
like
that's
that,
fair.
and it can get 20 million views. Even if the government didn't even want to be involved, now they are involved.
to a
That
So
is
like,
true.
degree, hold on. Hi,
it
forever and
depends.
tomorrow. Thank you for being
It,
there. Um,
it
I
depends
had
on
depends on
the
what.
the publicity on it.
I
Like
understand that, but it depends on if people are also taking action against it as well. Because niggas make videos about shit, anti-government shit all the fucking time. As saying hasn't
True.
changed anything. I say I would say
But
who
they
was it?
decide when to act and when to not act. It's not only one person making the decision.
No,
You
I
know, it,
completely agree with that. But what I'm saying is that it takes an action for the government to actually care enough for that to happen. I say we see it with so many other things. I mean, even if we're saying the government is trying to kill us ourselves, the government can get so much information about a motherfucker before they're about to do something, and they will still wait for it to happen before they're like, all right, well, we stopped them.
Yeah, yeah, like they have the information and they just sit on it and wait until something bad happens, and they use that as a justification for why they need to step in.
Exactly. Instead
Essentially.
of just stepping in beforehand and trying to prevent the shit from happening, depending on what it is. But nonetheless, that's how I feel the government will operate with it.
But it is definitely a double-edged sword, because there are cases where, like, as Soavecito Suave, I remember Suave said, where the government can just take a keen interest because someone just joins into the government years later and is like, I really don't like this, and they try to handle it their way. I do see that, but I will say one of the big benefits, though, of the internet compared to the past is how widespread things are and how viral things can go, which can be used as a shield against tragic incidents or incidents where the government in the past would have been able to do more brutal things and then cover it up.
Mm.
But now, since everyone has a smartphone in their pocket and they can just record what's going on and upload it to the internet, it's much more harder for them to do stuff as overtly. So I think there's more of a chance for communities who want to group together and do something to survive in today's age because of the internet and how useful it can be as a shield from more direct action. If you catch my drift, I'm horrible at explaining the
Actually,
broad idea.
no, that actually made complete sense, and that actually points me to my next topic and the next thing that I wanted to
Woohoo!
talk about. But I say, Noah, I appreciate you for calling in and
Yes.
talking with us, my boy. I would say the 10 minutes have expired, but we love
Oh,
when
my
you come in
heart.
to talk. My bad. I say, but we love when you come in and talk to us. I say, you're a smart boy. I say, dead ass, smart ass nigga. So I respect you, bro.
I try my best, but yeah. Before I go, can I just note the topic is, and then I'll dip out because I'm
Okay,
curious.
so the next topic is since you were talking about basically, well, so pretty much the next topic is how they should change things, like the Twitch bots and shit like that, how they're changing the racism, and how if race is pretty much as bad as it used to be back in the day. So that's pretty much what the next topic is going into.
Ooh, that would have been fun. Well, anyway, I'm gonna step on out and let you guys take care of it. It was nice chatting with you. It was nice meeting you, Carefree.
Appreciate you being here, Noah.
Hey,
Good meeting you,
Hey,
bro.
Good
hey,
meeting
Noah,
you.
thank you for calling in, my boy. Appreciate you.
I try my best. Cheers.
Now, the Twitch bots and all the racist shit that's going on over on Twitch, I think I should give the floor to Suavecito for a moment, just so he can speak on it, because technically I haven't had to deal with the situation yet on my own side, because I don't stream as much as he does. But I just want to say, if anybody else would like to call in as well, I would say go to these words that are right here. That you see these words on Twitch, and then say that you're in the chat, and then I'll throw the link up there, and you can join in. I only give the link to people on Twitch in the Twitch chat. So if you want it, please, go to Twitch, follow me, or don't even have to follow me. Just view the video, and then ask for the link so you can join in to talk. Now, Suave, the Twitch bots and the racism. Please explain that shit.
Hold on, I wanna get this camera. Actually, I don't like this camera. We'll go back to the other one. All right, so where do I start? I'll start by saying, so I would say a couple months ago, streamers of minorities have been noticing that these bots that are created by heinous people who have nothing better to do, but I'm not gonna get into that. Just keep it straight facts. Uh, basically they raid their chats or activate the bots, and they come with hateful slurs and racial slurs towards the minorities. And I have been experiencing a bunch of followers that have been which is the same thing. So there's example. So it's like Haas, SOSS 1351 13512 135. It's a bunch of the same name 7 to 10 to 12 to 13 times. So I have been the last 3 days I've been streaming. I have experienced this 5 times or four or 5 times, where I literally have to ban every single one before they get an opportunity to spam hateful or negative terms towards me. And it's a disgusting thing, you know. And the fact that Twitch hasn't really done anything to prevent this to happen is it's kind of sad. It's really sad because as me being African American and putting myself out there, I'm already vulnerable as it is. And the fact that I now have to be very careful in who is following me and stop them from spamming those types of things towards me, which also can get me banned on that platform. It just blows my mind that this is where we are at this stage. You know, a platform that didn't have this until a couple of months ago, in this large range of way. So it breaks my heart because I know a lot of content creators who have lost their lives due to stuff like this. You know, it's basically cyberbullying. Is racism. You name it. It's just it's a thing I don't understand. It really makes me want to switch platforms. But I'm gonna keep saying the message until Twitch does something. I'm gonna keep voicing you. I'm waiting for a response.
Hold on. So Wonton Violence says, you think it Wonton Violence? What the fuck? That I ain't gonna hold you. That shit was kind of hard. You think it's because Twitch benefits so much from the demographic that is responsible for these kinds of heinous behavior?
Can you read it one more time?
Sorry. You think it's because Twitch benefits so much from the demographic that is responsible for these kinds of heinous behavior?
I honestly think so. I think Twitch benefits regardless of, even if it gets negative publicity or positive publicity, because there's no such thing as bad publicity. You know, it's just bringing more.
I'll let you know.
It gives more attention to the platform. You know, people aren't gonna stop streaming on Twitch because there's stuff like this going around. You know, but they can definitely make changes and make it more not I don't even want to say user friendly, but maybe I will. Yeah, user friendly for people like me. You know, like, you know, I'm not only saying it's targeting minorities. It can be females. It can be transgenders. It could be somebody who is just regular. Everybody's just regular people, but the fact that nothing has been done so far, and I'm not the only streamer that has voiced his opinion. I know other streamers have done. I think Twitch Blackout Day, which I think it was September 1st. Don't quote me on it. Where people just didn't stream on Twitch because of all the hate that everybody or the people that have been dealing with this on a regular basis to try to tell Twitch, hey, we'll boycott your shit. But the thing is, I don't think it had that much of an impact because it's still happening. And I feel like it got more publicity. Now other people are trying to do it more, you know, because like after that day, I like I said, it was this month. After like a week or so into that, like I got spammed with this in the last 4 days, last 3 days, in like 4 or 5 times. And it's just like now I feel like it's bringing now that it gets more attention to it. People are going like, oh, so I can do this, and nothing really happens to me. It's just crazy, man. I honestly I don't even feel safe on the platform anymore. And I really wanted to build my career on Twitch, and I hope something changes, but I don't feel safe. I feel like anytime I see a follower, I hold my breath because I don't want to see that follower's name multiple times because that means I know that I'm being targeted again and again and again. And it's just like like I said, we as content creators, as you KareFreeRree, as you KingKado, we are putting ourselves out there. We're already in a vulnerable state. A lot of people know more than we tell people. Our anxiety, our depressions, our mindsets, our families, our how we perceive certain things. This is always going to stay on the internet. So the fact that we're in such a fragile and vulnerable state, this is adding on to it. And I honestly, it's just unacceptable. Nobody should be okay with this shit. It's not something that we should just be like, okay, let's do Twitch blackout day and not stream on Twitch one day, and let's completely forget the fact that this is still going on. No, there has to be ramifications, and there needs to be action now. Because again, you are screwing up people's careers because people who have thousands of people, and somebody sees all these racial slurs and literally gets taken off the platform because other people like, why are these people coming here and saying that negative stuff? Their careers are over because nothing is done because of these bots, and it's disgusting, man. I get so excited to get one follower, but I said I don't. I gotta hold my breath, and it's
I
just like
completely agree.
now it's another level of making it hard enough to be a minority live streamer that I have to contend with. And I hope that we all, like all the minorities and everybody, comes together and does something, and we say this needs to change.
Okay, hold on. All right. Sorry, everybody. We're 32 minutes in. I just want to say hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. I know this is crazy. I'm actually doing the intro 30 minutes into the show. I've been doing this shit. It's a little wild. I haven't been on my shit. But good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Yes, we're talking about races, all different types of things of that nature. It's a very serious conversation today. I'm just glad that everyone's here to join. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the thumbs down. Thank you for everyone that's following. Thank you for the people that are not following anymore. Either direction. I love all the honesty, positivity, or whatever else people want to throw towards my direction. It's all love at the end of the day. Now, would you hold on? It said Noah says it's the Streisand effect. And it said, which is the God damn, I can't even say it. Perverse reaction of making something blow up or go viral due to trying to shut something down. So, do you think? Do you think
Just real
that
quick, yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, God. What are you gonna say?
No. I was gonna say, I go more into detail for anybody who wants to watch. I have a video on my YouTube channel saying I have an announcement. No, I have an important thing to say about to Twitch. Go check it out. It's Soavecito. It's literally said I have an important message for Twitch. Go check it out. Soavecito, Soavecito. And if you want to support, go share the video. Go get that to be viral, because again, when things go viral, companies take notice. So if I can get this more views to and more shares and likes and everything, we can keep it in an algorithm and we can get the word out there more. So
all right, cool. There you go. Now, with that being said, with you having to deal with that, do you think racism is just as bad as it was 40 years ago?
where you want to start?
Either of you, do either of you think racism is just as bad as it was 40 years ago? And I know both of you do, so I don't want to hear shit else. So let's go.
I'm not. I didn't say I do. I said that shit has it. I said, okay. My view on it is, while people aren't dragging you out your houses in broad daylight, racism has become more covert. It has maneuvered in a way to hold you down in other ways. And at the same time, some of that shit is still happening. like in preparation for doing this talk show, and for today especially, I sat here and went through and literally black traumaed myself, like went through black traumas and shit just to have like information for you guys. So first off, one thing that I don't like that happens, and it's been happening a lot more recently, is they've been finding black people hanging from trees
Sorry,
with
Noah.
bodily injuries and things of that nature, ruin them as suicides. I had to stop just because I didn't want to put myself in a bad place. But Orlando 2020, Nevin Baker hung by a noose, bodily injuries, ruled as a suicide. Cali, New York, and Texas, May 2020, 4 hanging deaths, all ruled suicides. Cali, October 2020, man caught hanging nooses from trees in a local park. It has become more covert, and just because people aren't ripping you out your houses and shit like that doesn't mean this is not happening. You know
I
what I'm
agree
saying?
with that, but how does that mean it's still just as bad?
It's still happening. That's my reason I say it's not. That's what I said. It's still up there. Yes, they're not burning you on your lawn, but literally they're still ripping people from their homes and shit like that. Abducting motherfuckers every day and
I
shit like
understand
that.
that,
It's
but
still
what I'm
happening
saying,
to that level.
I get that, but what I'm saying is if niggas isn't doing it in everybody's face like they were back in the day, taking pictures with bodies that are actually hanging up and shit like that, can you tell me, you can't tell me that it's literally just as bad. I would say I don't see people taking pictures with black bodies being hung up and then putting it on the internet or wherever the fuck it was at the time for people to see. I don't see that now. And if they had Instagram, Facebook, whatever the fuck back in the day, Twitter and shit like that, where you can actually post things of that nature, or even Reddit back in the day, and you can post shit of that nature, the amount of disgusting shit that you would see, the amount of racism, the amount of people being hung and the pictures being taken, it would be at an all-time fucking high. The amount of pictures that we have now would be shit compared to the amount of pictures that they would have if we had the same technology back 40 years ago. It's not the
Just because
same.
you hide it doesn't make it different, bro.
I'm not. What I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
No. What I'm saying when it comes down to that, if you're hiding it, it's not as accepted because you're not gonna hide something that's as accepted.
Accepting and bad is different. Accepting and being as bad is totally different. Your question was, is racism
I get
just
that.
as bad?
Yes, but that actually still goes into
makes it different.
those two
No, it
go into
doesn't.
each other. Yes, it does.
In a manner, it goes into each other. But like as a whole, saying acceptance and happening, like it's not accepted.
Okay.
I'll give
you this. I'll give you this example.
Happens a lot.
I give you this example. So if someone is worshiping, if somebody is worshiping somebody evil and they're killing somebody, right?
Yep.
Right. And they're doing it behind closed doors. You're telling me if that was publicized and everybody was okay with doing it and they was okay with doing it in front of everybody and there was massive people doing it because everyone was okay and they can see other people doing it. You're telling me that those two are just as bad.
It's the same thing.
It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. The reason it's not the same thing.
Out there in public. One is just not out there in public. It's like people calling you a nigger behind closed doors and someone calling you a nigger
because they're scared.
Face.
Because they're scared to do it.
They're not scared. They understand that there's laws in place right now that will kind of make them accountable, but to that same degree, right, of kind of accountable. That's me telling you that in 2020, just in two or three instances, black people were being hung from trees and being beaten and shit like that with bodily injuries and shit like that, and they're ruling as a suicide.
Good fucking job for your 3 articles that you were able to find in 2020 compared to all the extra bullshit that was actually happening back then. Niggas was dying. There was multiple people dying on the same day of being hung together, getting beat up and shit like that. Like, my nigga, I say a lot of the shit that happened back in the day still happens now, but I don't think it is as bad. Nowhere fucking near. And the reason I say that more or less is because I can walk down the street with my white girlfriend and not feel like I'm going to get killed. I can whistle at a white girl if I want to. I can whistle at a Spanish girl if I want to. I can say, hey, baby, that ass looking fat. I can say all types of shit. I'm not going to get fucking killed because I'm a black man saying it to a white woman. It's not the same. And also just because, and the other aspect of it, just because there is one person doing it behind closed doors and he's not doing it in front of everybody, doesn't mean it's the same. And the reason it's not the same is because if everybody's okay with taking a picture with a hanging body, then it's going to be widely accepted and they're going to do it in front of you. It's going to be you're going to be more scared because you're going to see those pictures. Right?
But that's
you're gonna they willingly
into not being as scared just so it can happen in a covert way. Keeping it out the media, keeping it out of your face has kind of put you in a domestic state, right? Yes, you could whistle at white women, you can date white women and shit of that nature, but we're in a domestic state where the now ongoing view is this shit's not happening as much. It's not as bad. But when you really look into it and shit like that, it's still prevalent. It's very prevalent. There are still sundown towns and shit like that. And yes, 3 articles, nigga.
There are sundown towns, not like there fucking was, though.
A sundown town is a sundown town regardless. But
I get where Vaughn's coming from too, but I don't agree. I don't agree that it's the same level. That's where I'm coming from. I understand where he's coming from. Yes, the racism is still here. They still do some of the same shit that they did back in the day, but the amount of niggas that are doing it compared to back then is not the same shit.
Hold on, real quick. 80, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, 80, go ahead. What's up?
Nothing much, man. I'm just listening.
No. Now you gotta chime in.
You here, nigga? You gotta speak. Speak the fuck up.
Okay. Listen, man. I just joined it randomly. I don't really know what's going on, so I'm just listening to the side. I'm gonna try and listen and shit, and I'll try and chime in.
All right, all right. 80. Do you think racism is just as bad as it was 40 years ago?
Hell, fucking no.
Thank you, my nigga. That's it. That's the end of the conversation. Next topic. What's the next topic? We out. What's the next topic? Because nigga, you can't tell me that it is. I'm pretty sure there's old motherfuckers that would disagree with you.
Oh, okay.
I'm just being real with you. I'm pretty sure my grandmother would disagree with you.
Honestly, I mostly believe that it has evolved into something different.
And that's my point. It evolving is bad. It has evolved to say, hey, I'm not in your face. I'm not right here in your fucking face, but I'm still happening.
I agree. I agree that is happening.
But that's the thing. But that's the thing though. Yo, just because people aren't happy to bogart it in your face and shit like that, right? They just changed it in how they did it. They just literally fucking evolutionized their racism.
I completely agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with that statement. What I'm saying is race at this point is not going to get you pulled out of your house and pulled into your front lawn and killed. That's what I'm saying. That's the aspect of racism that I'm saying isn't as bad as it was.
It might not be to the wait. It's not. It might not be to that parameter or to that measurement. But
that's what I'm talking about.
Who's saying that it can't be something close to that?
I never said it wasn't.
Or I don't know. Like I said, I
never said that it wasn't close. I'm just saying it's not at the same level. You feel me?
I understand that.
That's
again,
how I feel.
Like I said, I get both of your points. Like, and again, this is why I love doing this shit, because like everybody is entitled to their own opinions and own mindset, and we are all divulging what our feeling.
Sorry, perfect example is what Slim Maculate said. Said racism still exists, and there's still a lot of racism out there today, but it's not as accepted anymore by the mainstream society. That's what I mean by racism isn't as bad as it was before. You can literally write nigger babies in the fucking paper before. You can't write that shit now. You can't fucking write that without the paper going down and that person losing their job and all that type of shit. It's not the fucking same. If you're talking about behind the scenes racism, okay, cool. That's been there all our goddamn life. Yes, that alone is the same. But you also have to compare that with other racism, my nigga. You can't just leave it just straight to the racism that is behind niggas or the shit that motherfuckers can't see. You got to put all of that there. You feel me? That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying just because it's not as violent, it's not as bad. What I'm saying is that, actually, no, technically, yeah, that is what I'm saying. Because it's not as violent, it's not as bad in that sense. Also, I don't also have the same issue of walking down the street and being called a nigger. I don't get called a nigger like niggas got called niggers 40 years ago. It's nowhere near the fucking same. Nowhere near the fucking same. They're not burning crosses on my front lawn. I mean, yes.
Does
Are
it
the
matter
police
to
still
you
killing
if
niggas?
someone chooses to
Yes.
be more nice to you just because aesthetically, the motherfuckers still hate you, would probably call you nigger in passing and shit like that. And I'm telling you this from reference of I talked this over with people and they were like literally last year in a park, motherfucker called her
I
a
know
nigger
that.
and shit like that.
But
in
you're
that
also
same
doing.
aspect, would you still
But you're doing the
not feel
same.
as bad?
You're still doing the same thing that all white people do about black people. Oh, I see black people in music videos shaking ass, have gold chains, and they buying a bunch of dumb shit with their money, and all of them smoke drugs. So I just saw a G Herbo video. Okay, cool. I'm gonna put that on all black people.
No. I didn't say that was on all
hold on,
black.
wait.
I'm asking you as a whole.
And
that was a whole question.
All right, as a whole question. All right, say it again.
As a whole, I was saying if motherfuckers are like they're less of I'll put it in your paper, but I might call you a nigger in passing. I might fuck with you when you come into my establishment, kind of shit like that. Does that not feel the same? Just because they're not yelling nigger from the top of their lungs and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Does it not feel the same?
No, I get where you're coming from, but no, I don't think it has the same purpose. I don't think it has the same feeling to it because the nigga that it wants to be racist, number one, is not doing it in my face because number one, he knows it's not accepted. That's number one. He can lose his entire situation or whatever the fuck because of that. But also, I don't think it's the same because I can go into the shop in the first place. Back in the day, the nigga not gonna let me in there anyway. Also, I keep my circle small enough that I don't have to worry about dealing with motherfuckers that have that type of mindset. I mean, is it gonna happen? Yes, but that literally happens everywhere you go. I would say you can trust the next black man. You're gonna tell me that no black man is gonna set you up or do you wrong? But only white men are gonna, based on history? Is that what you're telling me? You can't trust black men? You can't trust Indians? You can't trust Spanish men because of history? Is that what you're telling me? You can't trust any of your friends because of what other black people did in history? Is that what you're telling me? That's what you're going off of? It's the same thing white people used to do. Oh, they're savages. They're blah, blah, blah. They can't do this. They can't do that. They can't drive cars. They can't do this, blah, blah, blah. All you're saying is, oh, this white person is this, so I'm not fucking with it based on the history of all other white people. I'm not going to put that on every single fucking white person because I don't want that same shit put on me. I don't want motherfuckers to see me and automatically think I want gold grills or I want bitches with fat asses with a giant house and a pool on the top roof in the middle and outside and on the front yard or whatever with 50 cars with 20, 30-inch rims or whatever the stupid shit that these niggas is doing. I don't want to be looked at the same way. So I'm not going to do the same thing to another race because at the end of the day, you don't want that shit done to you. So why the fuck do it to everybody else? That's my point.
The preferences you just mentioned, right? Those literally come down to preferences that another race has deemed unworthy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about something that someone is deemed unworthy.
I didn't say you said it was unworthy.
I'm saying in the aspect of what you just said, and I'm gonna broaden on that. But in the aspect of literally what you just said, those are things that someone has deemed unworthy.
But is that not your point?
Unprivileged. No.
Your point isn't about history. Your point is not about history, which is the only thing you have to go off of.
But it's not just history. If that shit still happens, history would be to say that less than 70 years ago, 69, 68 years to be exact, motherfuckers were burning people and shit like that.
Yes.
Less than 40 years ago, they were still in an aspect acclimating to new society rules. In the last 20, 30 years, they've been figuring out a way to still be as racist and shit like that, but not be publicly shamed for being racist and shit like that. History be only talking about that, but that's the thing. And that's why this conversation gets a little convoluted and shit like that. I'm not just talking about history. I'm talking about a pattern. That's not just history anymore. That's a pattern. It's not
I
all
get that.
white people, but if a pattern coexists, and it's just like, let's talk about science, right? When science happens,
Wait. Hold the
motherfuckers
fuck
look
up.
for
Hold on.
patterns.
Hold the fuck up. How is that not all white people if you're talking about repeating his shit repeating over
I'm
and over?
talking
again?
about a pattern. I'm not just saying. That's what I said. It
I
doesn't
got
have to be
that.
all
What
white
I'm, hold
people.
on. Listen to what the fuck I'm saying. If you're saying there's a pattern, who the fuck are you trusting and who are you not trusting at the end of the day?
I didn't say you couldn't trust the motherfuckers. I just said there's a pattern though. There's a legit pattern. You can't be you can't be mad if someone that burns you repeatedly, right? Burns you repeatedly one day says, "I'm not gonna burn you." You trust them for a couple of years and then they fucking burn you.
I understand that,
That-
but
it's
what
a
you're
pattern.
saying, what you're saying is that just because the government is burning you, I can't deal with the white woman that's next to me. So because the government has a pattern of doing something over and over again, I can't trust any white person now.
I didn't, but okay. So let me re-clarify.
Because you're telling me there's a pattern, and what you're saying is that
There
if
still
there's
is
a
a pattern,
pattern, if there's a pattern, then you can't trust motherfuckers because there's this pattern. They're gonna burn me again. Is that not what you just said? They're gonna burn me again.
A pattern happening and your discretion of what you do with the pattern are two different things. The pattern happening and what you do with the pattern are two separate things. What I do with the pattern that happens is two separate things from what the pattern is. And that's, let me clarify, not all white people. And I think that has to be the biggest thing that this conversation revolves around. It's not all white people, the same way that when other things happen, it's not all black people, it's not all Indian people and shit like that. But I hate having to say that shit because subjectively, if it don't apply, let that shit slide. If it don't apply to you, let that shit slide, nigga. That's it. But subjectively, if a pattern coexists constantly, and shit like that, you would be dumb to say this can't happen to me. Now,
I never
saying
said
that
it
it's
didn't.
going. I'm not saying you did. I'm just talking about my point.
Okay.
Now, am I going to say that it might not happen to you? It won't happen to you. It can happen to you. Yes, that is a very big difference. But I feel like part of this thing is ignoring the fact that there's a very, very dominant pattern that happens and shit like that. And that happens a lot.
No one's ignoring that. No one's ignoring that.
I know, but it's like the point now is kind of like it was kind of getting flipped. Like I'm saying you can't trust all white people and shit like that. But it's not me saying you can't trust all white people. I'm just saying
Be cautious of all white people because of the patterns
I'm
that
saying
happen.
be cautious of people. Be cautious of people and shit like that. But understand.
Then that's fine. Just say be cautious of people. I don't know why that automatically has to be applied to when I'm talking about white people. When I talk about white people,
race.
Yeah, I understand that.
Race and whiteness.
Yeah, we were talking about white people, and that's the specifics. That's what you specifically brought up. Now, if you're just talking about everybody, then talk about it for everybody. But we're talking about white people here. But regardless of the fact,
my white people, yes.
but I understand where you're coming from, and I also agree with my boy Noah in the chat. I agree with what you're saying. I say I believe there's a disconnect between cases and numbers versus which techniques are worse. As I feel convert racism is worse in the sense that you can't tell what's a safe place and what isn't, and you can get harmed. And raw numbers, yeah, it's not as bad, but the techniques used today are worse in items of covertness. I can agree with that.
So I just want to point this out. I just want to point this out. So, we all, and this goes back to the conversation, is racism like the worst today, or like is it at the same? We all live in different, like throughout years, we all live in different time periods. I didn't experience that stuff, and I'm experiencing, I only have what people told me and what I read and what videos I've seen. Have I lived it? No, and it won't have the same impact on me than me experiencing it. So I can't only speak for myself, but maybe for Vaughn and for a lot of people, what we are experiencing now is as bad of what happened in the past. And for those who lived in that past, that was their worst. But again, we are on all different time periods. Again, it's all about experience. Yes.
How do you make the distinction? How do you make the distinction of who to trust and who not to trust?
You asking me?
I'm asking both of you niggas. How do you make that distinction?
Honestly, like, I guess you really don't never know. You never know.
All right, so bet. So you're basically saying don't fucking trust anybody until they give them a reason to trust you. Until they give them a reason to trust.
No, I'm not saying that because speaking on me. I give everybody a chance. I give everybody a chance. And the reason why I say that is like, but the thing is, if you fuck me over, that's it. I always give people the benefit of doubt, but I don't ever fully trust anybody. You know, the reason why is because you never, and this brings back a lot of conversations, and I keep saying it, you never know what everybody's full intentions are.
I understand that, but that's the fucking issue. All right, hold on. Everybody mute your fucking mic. This is my show. Everybody mute your goddamn mic because I'm speaking right now. This is my fucking thing right now with everybody who has that same exact type of fucking thought process. You motherfuckers want everybody else to be okay, to magically just get better while you fucking don't do anything your goddamn self. Yeah. Oh yeah, I trust everybody, but you know, I still have blah, blah. No, it doesn't fucking work like that. You telling me that you don't trust niggas? Then how the fuck do you expect anybody else in the world to fucking grow? If niggas don't trust anybody, you're not trying to trust niggas. You come up with the conversation of, oh, there's patterns and blah, 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 so I might get burned again. How the fuck are you going to stop the pattern at the end of the day? You can't. You can't stop the fucking pattern because you're part of the pattern. You're making the pattern worse. You talking all the nonsense and all. I'm not saying nonsense or whatever. I understand your point. But the fact that motherfuckers is like, well, but there's history. I would say you're doing the same thing white motherfuckers have done to us after we got released. Oh, they're savages. They're this. They're blah, blah, blah because of fucking history. No, nigga, don't do that. If a motherfucker killed a little white girl somewhere out there, is that supposed to automatically get put onto me? No, because I don't want motherfucker to think that process for me. But if a white man went and killed a black girl, now all black people are supposed to look at all white men some type of way because it's a pattern of other white men that killed black women in history? No. I would say it's that specific individual nigga. We're getting to the point we're the most multicultural that we have ever been, most race put together that we've ever been in history. And the fact that niggas is still on the same fence of, oh, we can't trust motherfuckers, or we shouldn't try to trust motherfuckers, or they gotta give me a reason to trust them in the first place. But you're hating niggas for their skin in the first place, not even really hating them, but you're automatically judging them for the skin that's on them in the first place, is the same fucking issue that we have with us when we're trying to get a fucking job, or when we're trying to go and do things and or get a loan for a house or some shit like that. It's the same fucking thing. Niggas see a goddamn music commercial and they put all that same shit on us. They watch Cops and see all these fucking idiots and these crackheads doing shit, and then they put it on us. That's the shit that I'm tired of. If you want to make shit better, be fucking better. That's simple as that. You can't keep telling everybody else to be better because that's what everybody else is doing. You got to start with your fucking self. You got to start trusting niggas. You can't put everything that happened with white people back onto every other white person or this pattern that you're saying, because you don't know when the pattern's going to happen. You don't know who to trust. You don't know who's going to fuck you over and who not. So you having this mindset of this person's going to trust me over, you're not even going to be able to get to the fullest level of connections with human beings because you think everybody's going to fuck you over in the end of the goddamn day. So that's what I'm saying. Trust, love, and accept. Be bigger. Grow from that shit and stop keeping the same shit down, my nigga. Just be more. Get into it. Stop generalizing niggas. Just stop. We don't want to be generalized. Stop generalizing everybody else. We can't keep doing what everybody's doing to us and then expect us to move ahead in life. It's not how it fucking works. We may be slowly moving ahead and shit of that nature, but it's not in the same way that we want because everybody else is hitting us more and more. That's not the shit that I want. I don't want motherfuckers to look at us in a weird way because they hear this conversation and they're like, oh, well, most people automatically think that we're just going to fuck them over again, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to be cool with any black people. I'm not going to get this nigga a rise. I'm not going to hire him at my job or business or whatever. Fuck, blah, blah, blah. Everybody has to work together for everything to work. That's my point. Love each other. It just sounds like motherfuckers hate everybody else. And it's like, well, no, I don't hate them, but they did things just so, you know, I can hate them if I need to. And it's like, no, it's all love, positivity and shit like that. You can't love everybody else if you saying there's a fucking pattern going on, because now you're just being scared of every motherfucker that comes by. It may not be a conscious decision, but it's fucking subconscious back there. That's my point. I say, stop. I said, love motherfuckers. I get that there was history, my nigga, but we got to move on from history. We can't keep saying history, or we never gonna be able to move on from this shit. I get it. White people have done wrong. Yes, they have. But I'm not gonna look at my fucking girlfriend and be like, I don't know if I can stay with my girl because, you know, the history of white people, and, you know, she might burn me or whatever, even though she says she's not. I'm not gonna fucking take that aspect and look at this shit like that. You feel me? So that's where I'm coming from. I agree with your aspect that there is different ways of racism and stuff of that nature. Yes, completely agree. But some of the other shit that happens is, come on, yo, come on. We better than that. I know we better than that. I know we can think better than that. I know we can strive to be better than that. There's no reason for us to think the same way that fucking old ass white people were thinking or old ass racist people were thinking. We don't need to think that same way. There's no reason for it. We need to build better for what we got. And if we keep telling motherfuckers to be racist, or keep teaching our kids that, oh, motherfuckers is racist, you can teach them that, oh, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for you because you're black. But don't teach them that that most white people are racist and they're looking for your downfall, because that's not how you go about it. But that's my rant. I just want to say that. Everybody, y'all can unmute your mic if y'all want. But I just wanted to say that. Like, come on, man. Like, we got to stop shitting on other races because our race was shitted on. Like, we can't be better and do the same shit.
Can I ask you something personal, bro?
Yes, go ahead.
How come we always have to be the better when we have these conversations and shit
I'll
like
say,
that?
you know why?
How come it comes
why?
down to us having to be better?
I'll exactly explain it to you. The same reason, because the niggas keep having to ask that question, is because nobody else is doing it. Nobody else is doing it. So if you want to be the best, you want to be the greatest, and you want to be the race to look up to, or you want to be the superior ones, then why not be better? What's stopping you from wanting to be better? Explain that to me. What's stopping you from wanting to be better than these next niggas? So you want to be like all the white people that you're talking about? You want to feel that same way? You want to be that motherfucker that somebody feels the same way you feel? You want somebody else to feel the same way that you feel about you? The same way you feel about white people, you want them to feel the same way about? No, you don't want that. So why don't you want to be better?
I also feel that if you're the only one trying and shit, and I'm not saying only one, but I'm using that just the better conversation as that.
Yeah,
I'm saying if you're the only one trying, right, there comes a point where, like any relationship, you would pull out. But that's kind of why I said, like, this conversation comes down to us just. I there's a difference, but there's a similarity in the aspect that
I agree,
like,
but it's not. But it's not
better.
This is not a relationship you can break up with.
But it's like, show them how to be better and shit like that, so they know how to treat you. Why do we always gotta show a motherfucker how to treat us and shit like that?
I agree with that. I agree with that. But what else can you do, my nigga? If you don't do anything, is that gonna make them treat you better? So you doing nothing is better. Hold on. So you doing nothing is better than you actually trying to teach them to treat niggas better.
You doing nothing is better than trying to teach niggas to be better. It's not better. It's not better than teaching people how to treat you better. But if they keep treating you like shit, and then that's the thing. It's like, yes, you can't break up with them and shit like that. But it gets to a point where it's just like, nigga, that's stressful. Like, that's how stressful. And that's kind of why earlier in the very beginning of the topic, I said a non-forced segregation would not be that bad for us as a people.
I was saying, this is why I don't agree that racism is just as bad, is because you're talking about the stressability of teaching people to be better. They didn't have that fucking option back in the day. They didn't have that option to teach niggas or want to teach niggas that shit.
I'm going to say this.
They didn't have
so
that.
You said, you want us to all be better. And I agree. I because, like, as for me, and I'm just going to speak for myself, I greet everybody I don't want to say open arms. I want to say I give them the benefit of the doubt. You know, I go into things. I don't care what skin color you are. I don't care what race you are. I don't care if you're man or female or trans. I treat everybody like the same because, like I explained on my stream, we all shit the same. We all see like we all eat the same. We all breathe the same. Like we are a species. We're animals at the end of the day.
Yes, sir.
You know, but as far as this, like I said, we are animals at the end of the day. But the thing is, you like I believe in
This is a good ass
intentions.
conversation. Goddamn.
No, it is. It is. It is. I believe in
Vaughn,
intentions.
smile. You know this shit good, nigga.
Oh no, hold on. Actually, wipe my glasses, nigga.
Nah, because it literally the fact that you had to mute yourself or have us be muted so you could speak your truth. And again, I respect both of y'all's opinion. Again, because at the end of the day, we all have different feelings on the topic, and you know, at the end of the day, after we finish all this, we all respect each other.
And that's right.
You know,
What's the point of the show,
I still love
Suave?
you to the end of the day. Huh?
Suave, what's the point of the show? What's the 3 points of the show?
Loving, it's love.
All love.
And positivity. Love and positivity.
And having your own opinion and respecting niggas. Because I still have full respect for Ree. I say anybody that's watching this, y'all may think that me and this nigga's arguing or whatever, but me and this nigga about to play video games after this. So we perfectly cool. So like that's literally all that is. So like literally we can
but before I forget this point.
Yeah, my bad. Go ahead. Sorry.
As much as we want people to be better, as much as we want the generation to be okay, we all know what the picture is, the ideal situation where people be better. You know, people don't see people for whatever they look like or the disabilities or whatever. And it breaks my heart because I truly believe this. I don't think it will ever change. And here's my reason why. Because even though things are progressing towards a great way, there's still that old mentality that will always be here. You know, people who are passing their knowledge to their young ones, and they're taking that knowledge and we're going to carry it to their next young ones. And look, yes, in certain aspects it has gotten better, but again, it just has evolved into a different way. You know, and it's like the Timmy Turner abyss, and I keep bringing it up because it's that show episode has so much power to it. It doesn't matter if we all look the same. It's in people's natures to always point something out. It's always they're always going to point something about. Oh, you're more grayer than that person. You have more sleek than this person. Everybody always wants to be better, or not. I don't want to say that. Let me rephrase. There's always going to be people in this world that wants to be better than somebody, and they have no problem pointing out people's inferiority, like or people's who have what's the word I'm looking for? Like they put imperfections. They have no problem pointing out people's imperfections to make them look better or to be better than them. But like, oh, look at me, I have millions of dollars, but you don't have shit. Like, it's just in our human nature to be like this. And you know, I don't say everybody does it, but if a good portion of the world does it, we can't all change it unless we're all on the same page. But we will never be on the same page because we have one thing: we all have free will. We all have the option to make our own opinions and form our own judgments. There's two things that are in this world that are guaranteed: the choices that you make and whatever consequences come from right after that. So yeah, you can make a decision, but you have to understand you have to live whatever decision you make with whatever happens after. Cause and effect. It's just how the world works. But again, it's a cycle. You know, we've done, like, if you look at all history, we've always done some fucked up shit. We always done some fucked up shit. We always done some fucked up shit. And in the future, we're gonna do some fucked up shit. You know, it's just in our DNA, it's in our blood, it's in us, you know, because we have one thing that's more powerful than anything. It's free will. Free will. Like in this conversation that we're all having, we all have different mindsets. Our minds are working in different things. Even I know my flaws. I'm very forgetful. Even though I'm having this conversation, it's like, yo, I gotta chime in, and then it's my turn. I totally forget. I know what my things are, but I don't use that as I use that as motivation. But somebody who sees that might go on and be like, hey, oh, that streamer right there can't even remember a fucking sentence, or stutters, or why is his hair colorful? Like they point out things without even think without even saying it, because it's how their mind is programmed of the history of what is it, nature versus nurture of the environment they have lived in. So if somebody is raised in a environment that is hated towards a certain race, they are more likely, again, I'm not saying it's definite, because there's a lot of people that haven't been like that, but there's a higher probability that person might turn out to be, because they see that environment is as normal. That's the environment they know.
Right.
And that's why I think it will never change. And that's fucking sad, bro. Like the fact that I want to bring a child into this world, knowing that I have to worry because people have all the, I'm spitting all over the place, but people have these mindsets literally because I'm passionate about this shit, because everybody has their own mindsets and that's why I say you never know people's true intention. I have no issues meeting a stranger and saying hello, but do I trust you? No. And I, to a certain extent, like I will talk to you, but I will always have my guard up. There's levels of trust, because again, you never know what a person's capable of doing because of free will. Again, people have opportunities, people see things for what it is, and they act on whatever decisions or whatever environment they are put into. And people don't understand that a decision is made like in seconds. We'll talk about life or death. Should I cross the road when 1,000 cars are coming, or should I bet on this horse because it's gonna win me millions of dollars? Life and death is determined in seconds. And again,
I would say, but someone says that personally, that right there alone has nothing to do with race. Is it you meeting somebody out on the plot, trusting them and shit like that has nothing to do with race?
No,
I know, but I was no, I know. I was branching off just a little bit, but back to where I was going with this is just
Thank you, Cody. I appreciate
just
that,
our
bro.
mindsets, all different mindsets that I just don't think it will ever end. It just will keep changing. Like it's racism in 1960 is different than a racism of 2021, just because it's a different generation. You know, people. It's like the game telephone. Okay, somebody hears something different, somebody hears something different. So instead of having the same mindset of what happened in the 1960s, 1970s, it's just a different version into 2021s. So in 10 years, we're gonna be dealing with something different. But will it still be racism? Yes. And I believe that this will continue, like I said, because everybody has their own mindset, and it's wherever environment you're grown in, and whoever your influencers are. And we play big factors as influencers as well. How about look how, and again, I'm branching off a little bit. Elon Musk is such a high rated fucking celebrity, and look how influences he has with the stock market. But imagine we were the stocks. You know, people look up to celebrities. People look up to their parents. People look up to their big brothers. But if they have certain mindsets, that can influence that younger ones, the younger generation, to do what their older or elders have done.
Right.
You know, and again, it's not guaranteed to be like that, but this is how it is. You know, I've learned a lot from my parents, and I feel like I'm a shell of what they are, and it's just genetics, DNA. You could say whatever, but and even from my friends. But again, choices and consequences. If I did a couple different actions in my life, in my past, I would be in a different place where I am now. I might be hating other races, but you never know. It's honestly because of free will that we are in this predicament, and I don't think we'll ever get past it. I just know I will be better every day. My thing is, I want to be a better person, or not even that. I want to be a better me than I was the day before, and I don't care even if it's losing a little weight or helping one more person or anything. If I'm content and happy with myself for who I am, that's what I'm gonna do. I don't care what you look like.
Are you sure about helping the white people? They have a pattern now.
We've
gone through this for like the last hour.
No, but
you sure you want to help white people? They got a pattern.
I respect Von's opinion. I do. Do I 100% agree with it? I don't. I believe people have their own intuition. They have their own path because everybody's different. That's my thing. But does that mean I shouldn't be? Am I afraid of one race? No, I'm afraid of every fucking race. Are you kidding me? I don't know who you are, and you
come back.
I don't know. But nah,
I was say this nigga
okay,
80
for
been
real,
sneaking
for
in and
real.
out and shit. Nigga ain't saying nothing.
No, okay, listen. Oh, sorry to cut you off, Avery.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm done being passionate.
Okay. Well, that last time I left like a couple minutes ago, I don't know what happened. I just disconnected out of nowhere. I just joined back. If you guys want me to chime in, I'll try and chime in.
Nigga, it's a call-in show. You're supposed to talk for 10 minutes. You
Okay.
ain't say shit. So
You
we
can
just
watch the
continue
shit on
talking.
Twitch, bro. The fuck? You come in, you have to chime in. That's the new rule.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So,
Not for real. 80,
Alright.
like, yeah.
All right. Okay, so my whole understanding of the situation is we're talking about what we should do in changing people's outlooks on different races because of this and that, and how to change and make everybody better,
right,
for everybody's well-being, right? Branching off of what Kato said, I do agree that sometimes people have to man up and be the first person. I also agree with Vaughn because he said, why do we always have to be the ones to chime in and teach people how to respect other people like regular people and not be animals to each other? That's all I got.
I don't get you don't agree with me? All right, fuck you, bro.
I mean, no. I'm okay. Listen. You bouncing off a lot, and I didn't understand. But I do understand where you were going with the Timmy Turner thing. I agree with that.
I got you. All right. Let me. I was like, all right, Twitch, I gotta get you out of here. Or I was like, you 10 minutes out, bro. All right.
Hey, while you're getting him out of there real quick, can I just say this, right? I'm just gonna be a quick thing. In reference to this whole conversation, right, about racism and shit like that, right? There are, and I've seen it recently. I gotta find it so I can link it into the chat or whatever. But there's this thing where people have been coming up and say, I didn't realize my parents were teaching me racist ways until I was much older, and then I discerned that, hey, that shit I was being taught was very racist and shit like that. And that kind of like plays into that ecosystem. Like when you talk about like preservation.
You had the choice to either accept the information that you get or have a different mindset. It's choices and consequences.
Yeah, but you have to understand. You have to understand at a point, right? That all I'm saying is, they came to a point where they said, "Yo, I understand," and now I'm trying to break that manner of teaching that I was taught. But until you recognize and shit like that, like it took him a long time. He's like 25, 30. He was in the 25, 30 age range, right? He said he didn't realize until like a year or two ago, and he's trying to unlearn the ways that his parents were teaching him racist shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
still goes back to choices. Those are all choices.
Outside of choice, if you were a child and you didn't realize you were being
I mean, like
racist
he realized he made a choice to stop thinking, like have those ways of thinking. That's a choice. You made that choice. Nobody else made it for you. You made it yourself. Like nobody's a fucking manipulator or has the power of your own mind. That is a choice. I'm gonna stop thinking that way. I want to do the way I was taught is I think is incorrect, and I want to do better. So I want to. Are you
speaking of him being older? Are you talking to him about him being older and realizing that?
Yeah, I'm just saying that. Yeah, that's when you said when he was older, he made the choice. Oh,
as he got older, he understood that he was being taught manners like that. But like as a child, if you're being taught that by your parent, the person who's supposed to turn you into a societal adult, right? And this is what you're being taught. You might not realize for a long time.
Nature versus nurture. It's the environment. It's what we model our parents. We're like TV. Everything's an influence. The minute you notice what the world is, everything is influence. You watch TV, that's an influencer. You watch celebrities, that's an influencer. The biggest influencers are your parents or the people you hang out with. That helps shape up whatever decisions that you want to or whatever decisions that form into your mind. So if you hang out with some racist motherfuckers, then not everybody does this. So for anybody who thinks that I'm saying everybody becomes this way, that's incorrect. Because at the end of the day, you have a choice to make. Yes, you could hang out with some racist motherfuckers. Does that mean you're gonna have the same mindset? No, but that's your whole fucking choice. Everything you do is a fucking choice, and that plays a factor into all this racism bullshit and prejudice and all the things that we deal with in a daily basis. It's just we have free will in our minds, and this is and look, and this whole conversation has to do with that. You know, I made like Vaughn, you made a choice that you really wanted to have more research on the topic. You could have made the choice like, no, I'm just gonna speak off mine. But because something in your mind told you that I need to do this because I want to make my point stand out more, made you do that. And you
black on black crime does not exist. Black on black crime does not exist. Black on black crime does not exist.
Black on black crime is bullshit. It was made up by the government to make you fear black people even more.
Listen, Kato, I know this is your show.
Go ahead,
and even when you said you made a fucking choice, but like I know what I need to say this. These motherfuckers need to shut up. I'm gonna tell them to mute. And another like I don't even want to say dimension. I'm sorry, but in a different mindset, you could have been like, nah, I'm gonna say what I want to say. But you made a choice to stop what we were saying to make your point prevalent. And my basic the reason why I'm saying all this is the fact that everybody has a choice and whatever choices you make has a consequence to it. You know, but again, it all rounds of free will. We all have this. You know, we all have decisions to make. So it matters where we grew up, who we watch, what music we listen to, everything played. The whole world is a big influencer. Now it's your choice whether to accept the information that you've been given at a young age, or even and yes, throughout the years you might have grown older to understand how the world works. Because as a kid, I didn't understand shit, but now as an adult, I see more than I ever seen before. But with age and our minds are still developing, obviously we're not going to understand. We're going to use our parents or whoever our guide or our guardians as a crutch, because we're not there. We're not fully developed. We're not there to make those decisions on our own. But so we're going to follow or model the people that mean the most to us, because they are fully developed and they have already lived as many years as they did. So like I said, if you grow up with a family who is prejudiced or racist towards a family, and they show you that it is okay to be this mindset, this is what normal it is, you are more likely to become that kind of person. Or you, like Vaughn said, that person did decide that they should follow their parents' ways, but as soon as they grew up and their mind and they understand how the world works, they change that with a fucking choice.
Silence says more than words can. I don't know what you mean by that. I said you don't have to be out. I just want you to elaborate what you're talking about in there on black crime. But I completely agree with Suave. I understand what you're talking about, where you're coming from. I say your choices make a lot of decisions. It will never end.
9 people, like out of a room of 10, if 9 people say yes to one thing, there better be a fucking person that says no. In whatever scenario it is. I got that from World War Z. Shout out to Brad Pitt.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, that's usually how they say things. But no, another thing is, just to segue into the last subject of the night of racism, black on black crime, because I wasn't even going to bring that up. Black on black crime doesn't exist, and the reason I say black on black crime does not exist is because it's the same shit for every other race on the planet. They say you kill who you're mostly next to. This is literally how it goes. If you look at homicide rates for white people and who they kill, you will notice that it's white on white crime.
Like, the media is plays on that. The media is a reason why black on black crime exists.
I say,
am I wrong?
Who's the black Tucker Carlson? Please tell us who you're talking about. Who's the black Tucker Carlson? But say that again, Swell.
I said the media has a big factor into black on black crime.
That's the fact. That's where it comes from. Yes.
Because it brings headlines. You know, the news is for entertainment. Like it stays like people
be a
forget
man,
that.
address the issue. What are you talking about? Black on black crime doesn't exist. The reason black on black crime doesn't exist, and I'm gonna speak to you directly, is because white people do race against white people at the same rate that black people go against black people. Same with Indians against Indians, and so on and so forth. Blah blah blah. Black people aren't leaving their neighborhoods to go rob white people in their neighborhoods. That's not how it fucking works. It's the white boy down the street that robbed the white lady down the street. It's what happened. If it's the black motherfucker robbing the black person down the street, it's the same shit. As this isn't what is it? What is it? What's that Bina Siegel movie? State property? This ain't fucking state property where niggas is going to rich people's houses over in the hills or whatever the fuck, and that's what they're doing. I would say just because black people are committing crimes against other black people doesn't mean it's not black on black. The whole idea of black on black is stupid because you've never heard anybody else say that. You never heard anybody else say that about any other crime. You've ever heard white on white crime? No. You ever heard Spanish on Spanish? Hawaiian on Hawaiian? Mongolian on Mongolian crime, nigga? Japanese on Japanese crime? Chinese on Chinese? You ever heard of any of these? Irish on Irish? You ain't hear none of these other things. Yet you're going to be violent, or well, the main people that are going to be violent are the motherfuckers that you're next to. If you're mainly next to white people or mainly next to black people, that's what's going to happen, bruh. Like black on black crime. Like, and what do you mean? Yeah, it's called gangs. Yeah, it's called gangs on what? I was like, oh, you might be talking to the other dude. I was like, but nonetheless, I say, but like gangs, I say, you act like there aren't Spanish gangs. There aren't Spanish gangs? MS-13 doesn't exist? I say, there aren't white gangs? I say, oh, hold on. You're telling me the Hellcats or whatever the fuck these niggas is? Who are they? The biker gang? The super biker gang that even has clubs with their name on the fucking door? Suck my dick. You're wildin', my nigga. Suck my dick. You're out of here. Suck my dick, nigga. Fuck out of here. Talking about black on black crime. There is other ones, and I'm not trying to be specifically to you, and I'm sorry. But I've never heard of any other race have race on race crime. It's only black on black crime. And why do you think that is? What have you heard that black people do that other white people haven't done?
You know, it's what blows
He's not
my
contradicting
mind.
it. Oh, sorry.
No. I'm sorry. Like, I just want to say this. Sorry. You know what blows my mind, and as you brought that up, you hear more jokes.
I'm not contradicting myself. Sorry, because
like
I'm not saying
like,
that.
Well, here's another thing that I guarantee everybody knows: black don't crack. Like, it's just like these stigmas or these
Hell's
sayings
Angels,
that
yeah.
have always been prevalent throughout like for a long time. You know, so this black on black shit, I just don't. I never understood it, because why can't it just be person murdering a person? Why is it just like because of the history?
It's just the show.
The history.
No, it's just the
I'm just
penis in
speaking
the
on
worst light.
gangs.
Like that's why this contradicting itself comment is like the contradicting itself comment, the white on white crime comment, Spanish on Spanish. These things aren't called out as something different than just.
But it doesn't bring headlines. It doesn't bring headlines.
Exactly.
Oh, white
That's the
person
thing.
killing white person, but a black person
shit.
killing black person. Now we got a story. Why is that?
Because it perpetuates bad shit. Yo,
but
Rufus,
it's also about
the
shit that we had in the history of all the things that we went through.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, because
I hate this topic. I'm sorry. I fucking hate this topic.
Because I want to talk on real quick. I just wanted to mention this. The streak. It was brought up talking about like black violence. Someone said black violence. Black people committing violence towards another black person, that happens. White people committing violence towards another white person, that happens. Spanish, Indian, Arab, what the fuck ever. People commit violence towards people normally that look like them because they're in areas that look like them. The fact that black on black crime as a whole gets called out as if it's some separate, more maniacal, more violent fucking thing.
And I agree with Wonton right there. I agree with you, Wonton, on that part. I say I don't know where I live. Murders are always reported regardless of race. I completely agree with that. No one's saying that it's not or anything of that nature. All I'm saying is that you can't say that black on black crime exists and then can't say that white on white crime doesn't also exist or whatever the fuck, because you have to give it a label. If you're giving it a label, then you have to give every other one else a label as well. You can't say, this white guy attacked what's the name, blah, blah, blah. No, call that shit white on white crime, my nigga. As they don't, but you can't just, there's no such thing at the end of the day, regardless of everything that I'm saying right now, there's no such thing as black on black crime. Every race does shit against themselves. It's literally that. We're the only ones that get called out on black on black crime.
They made black on black crime like popular. It's automatic headline. You know,
I'm not saying it's automatically where you are. Sorry.
No, I'm saying I'm saying it's an automatic headline. You know, if you hear a white person kills another white person, you're like, okay, you know, but a black person like does this towards or a black person does something to a white person, or a black person does something to a black person. It's always more eyes on whatever situation that has happened.
And good thing you said that. Good thing you said that, because homeboy asked, is racism white? Is racism white on black crime? And it's only if you're attacking somebody or doing a crime against them because of their race. That's literally, and it's racist if you're doing something because of somebody else's race. That is that not good enough definition for niggas to understand? I was say race is if you're doing something to somebody based on their race. That's race. Yeah. That's a racism. That's a race. That's racist. That's racist. That's a racist crime. Whatever the fuck. If it's specifically based off of race, then yes, that's racism. But a white guy punching a black guy, I don't automatically cry racism. I don't automatically assume it's racism. I might cry racism if it's a black guy in a car and it's a police officer punching him in the face and he's handcuffed or something like that. I might call racism at that point. But for the most part, white on black crime, not racist. Black on white crime, not racist. Motherfuckers is gonna rob anybody. Motherfuckers is gonna kill anybody. That shit just happens. Niggas is wild out here, bro. Niggas don't give a fuck. I was like, dead ass. Like, niggas don't give a fuck.
For entertainment value, the media dictates
Andre 3000.
What is gonna get more views, what's gonna get more likes, what's gonna get more eyes, and like, oh yeah, I guess we could just say a person murdered another person, but if we mention a black person murdered another black person, or here's another example. Me and my wife literally heard of a story, or I'm pretty sure you guys heard of it too, of the white girl who was tackling the black kid because she accused him of taking her phone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That blew up in the media and went viral all over the place. But why? Because they put the fucking race was against this race, and of all the fucking history that we have dealt with against the two races is brought upon on this situation. It's like tenfold. But if it was any other race, if it was like an Asian and a fucking Indian person, it's not gonna get the same headlines because there's so much history between white people and black people. And again,
baked macaroni and cheese. Baked macaroni and cheese.
I wasn't gonna answer. I didn't know if one of y'all were gonna answer that.
I answered the first. I'm just answering them as niggas is speaking. I'm just throwing it in there, talking to the crowd. I don't want to cut niggas off while they speaking, bro. But I do want to interact with niggas in the chat. I can't ignore them forever.
I feel you.
I say,
Suave,
I gotta be real, cheese, bro.
I gotta be real, bro. I don't agree in the media aspect of it just for headlines. I think it's more so it's a counteractive point. It's kind of like when people say black. It's on the same level of people saying Black Lives Matter, and then niggas started saying All Lives Matter. It's a counteractive point to try to shut down any validity to your point. So it's like saying, "Yo,
using
some racist shit happened." So
to get that across to a wider audience, a person might say all Black Lives Matter, and then say a person just walking by hears it, they say all lives matter. That is only contained in that little small area, but the media can play it out to broadcast
make it right
across the whole world, to the whole country, to form an opinion or manipulate people into believing what they are saying.
Mac and cheese baked.
So I know I get what you're saying, but that's why I really do think it's main, like the main point is the media.
No, I completely agree. That's the only way.
Because it's social media.
The only way something becomes racist for the most part, other than someone saying that I did this because this nigga was black, or I did this because of the color of their skin, is the title. Literally, the title on the article, the title of this video, the title, the description. It's like, white man attacks black guy, or a black guy attacks another black guy, or whatever. And then I agree with the same aspect of black on black crime isn't categorized as a race crime, and he's saying that it's more of an issue of the black community is a genocide on its children. And I can somewhat agree with that when it comes down to some of the things that are put there, but it's not all of. How can I? It's like what me and Ree were talking about this yesterday when it came down to like drugs and shit in the black community. If it's our fault that we're at the point where we're at, and part of it is, and then part of it isn't. It's just because
I was gonna say.
Sorry.
Y'all remember during the protest where there's like in the news it was said like, oh, white men were protecting stores from getting robbed, but in reality it was white and black people protecting the stores so those places don't get robbed. That for because they know they can get a bigger story, make a bigger impact if they cut out the shit that they know nobody's gonna care about. Oh, at that point they're working together, you know, and it's not about race. And they're like, nah, that's not gonna bring the money in. That's not gonna bring headlights. But if we say white people were protecting their stores against protesters for the Black Lives Matter movement, that's a money grab. Right. That's gonna bring more attention. But that's also gonna paint a narrative.
I will say that I think so based off Cody's question, because his thing was, in your opinion, if there was no social media involved with racism, has it gotten better? And I honestly think I would say yes. The only reason I say with social media is because a lot of the times when race gets involved into certain things, it's more or less because of social media. Because you can have an incident between people that doesn't involve race at all, but you bring it to social media and then you have a bunch of people in the comments or whatever the fuck, or the title of the video was, oh, racist, blah, 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 or some shit of that nature. And unless somebody's actually being racist in the video itself or doing something of that nature, then yeah, I say, honestly, I think it has gotten better. Opinion on Obama, I think all presidents are manipulated to the highest degree, so I really don't care to that point, to that much. What's the cool thing that only black folks can pull off? I don't know, do-rags. I think it's more about dividing us as a nation. I say at the end of the day, yeah, everything is about dividing us at the end of as dividing us as a nation. Because why would you want niggas to stick together?
The government has more power,
and then you got to attack the government. And then if everyone's together, you attack the government.
When we're all divided. But if we came together, then the governments, they don't want us to come to all together. They don't want us to all like each other. They don't want it, because then we rely on the government more when we're all divided. But if we all come together, I guarantee it's a different scenario. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me talking out of my ass. I guess we'll find out.
No, I get that. I say people will make more money when we are fighting each other. Can't fight for real injustice if we're fighting each other. I completely agree. I say you've seen it in so many movies. It's even been written in war books. If you can get a nation to fight each other on the inside, it's gonna crumble. If you got everybody not trusting each other, then it's gonna crumble. That's literally how war works at the end of the day, trying to break down your enemy or the opposition. I was saying that's what they do. It's the tactic that they put on. It's propaganda to make niggas hate each other, to make everybody hate each other. Like, oh no, everything is race related. Everything that people do is race related. Every single thing you do is race related, and that's really not how it should be. Will there be an after show to just chill and chat in the stream? I was like, I have to eat dinner.
I mean, I gotta go.
I ain't gonna hold you. I gotta eat dinner. I have not eaten today, so I say y'all based as fuck. I say, what does that mean?
Oh, we
basic as fuck.
I'm assuming he meant biased.
Biased as fuck. Okay, we're biased as fuck. Probably, but maybe. I'm also trying to say, love everybody, do better, and be better. Don't ask everybody else to be better. You be better, because everyone is asking everybody else to be better. Who's gonna do it themselves? So that's my point when it comes down to that. At the end of the day, but God damn, was this a fucking conversation or was this a fucking conversation? Everybody,
it's sad that this has to be a conversation. Like I hate this topic. I think it's a disgusting topic. Like, and look, I'm
trying to end the show. Don't go into a rant now.
I'm not, but I'm just putting that out there. I almost did. I almost did.
I say, he meant based. I say we're based as fuck. Actually, let me Google that just to make sure.
I haven't heard based.
I haven't used it in that type of sentence.
since the hell's that rapper's name? I haven't heard since Bass God was out. Like people using Bass God as a reference, yo.
Yo, his music was something else, man. I ain't gonna lie. Bass God, Little B.
Yeah. Shit.
God, man, that shit was crazy.
Why he does look that up real quick though.
No, I looked it up. I'm still trying to. Hold on. Maybe I have to search based because I'm not getting it off of base. That's not making any sense to me. No, it's still past tense based. Obviously,
mixed races to have a racist prevention unit from forming and keep them. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's what's up.
Hold on. I gotta read the sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're in the center. Blah blah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I understand. Makes sense. Yeah, I would have to say. But John 3:16 piece. Hey, thank you everybody who came for the stream, everybody who gave their opinion, everything like that. I say I appreciate each and every one of your opinions, except if you're specifically racist. Other than that, but I say it just means you're opinionated. Thank you. I would say I appreciate everybody. I would say the conversation was fucking amazing. It was immaculate. People had their sides of the stories. Everybody was able to understand each other. If you don't mind, either like or thumb down the video, whether you actually like it or if you don't like it. Either way, it doesn't really matter. I just like the honesty of it. That's all I want is the honesty. Everybody who watched it. Comment, like, share, all that extra good shit. Please show some love to my few fellow friends on this screen. This right here is Suave. This one right over here is KareFreeRree. Just please. And then obviously on this screen, yeah, over here, that's Care. And then all the way over there is Suave. But regardless of the fact, go follow everybody. Show them all love. I thank all of you. Please go follow if you want to catch up when we do go live. We try to go live on Fridays and Saturdays at 10:30. I say, but shit happens and we go live. Like nigga, it's Monday at 7 right now. That has nothing to do with Friday or Saturday at 10:30 p.m. So you're all confused. I understand. Makes sense. But like I said, please show the love, comment, all that type of shit. I have more videos on YouTube if you want to check out. Every single social media thing is KingKadoTalks. That little that shit right there, that little KingKado, everything is that. Every single fucking thing is that. Same with Soavecito, Soavecito. Every single thing is that. Same with my boy KareFreeRree. His is a little bit more difficult because he got E's and R's and all that extra shit, and they're all right next to each other. But it's CareFreerree, and then there you go. So if you can remember that, it's really easy. But it's Carefree. You know how you niggas be free, and then RREE. There you go. So please go follow everybody that's up here. Please shout out again to my two beautiful co-hosts. I say these niggas definitely did their motherfucking thing. I say I appreciate you niggas for real. And with that being said, everybody, I love you all. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and please say it with me. Good night.
Good night.